I don't think we have a choice if we're not going to go all Unabomber about it. Um, I think there are a ton of awful things about the human condition and beautiful, wonderful things about the human condition, with or without technology. I mean, I I kind of I consider myself a scientific rationalist, physical immortalist. Like I think I'll probably die. Almost certainly I'll die, but I'd like to choose the manner and timing of my death. I'd like other people to have that freedom. Um, but I also think that I'm also epistemically humble in that. I mean, I don't even know if any of this is real, and it could be Plato's cave or a simulation or whatnot. So, I mean, it seems like technology is just like the most interesting game we could be playing. And that if we don't play that game, then we're just going to go back to being a bunch of cavemen, and reality is not going to get more interesting.
People think about technology, the commoditization of science and technology. And it used to be, I had to go physically, had to show up at Stanford University 32 years ago to learn about neural networks from Professor Rumelhart, physically work with him in person. Now, you just send the person an email. The most latest work is published or pre-published on the web. 30 years ago, Bill Joy, who was the founder of Sun Microsystems, if anybody remembers Sun Microsystems, now owned by Oracle, they used to make servers, was very worried that, science is being commoditized to the level where maybe, a high school student in a laboratory, and they could actually unleash a chemical or a virus that would basically demolish half the world.
I couldn't help but be a little bit upset just seeing so much venture capital flowing towards pure finance plays. We just saw some very interesting things in the world of crypto, for example. And the quote that I love is when Captain Sullenberger was pulled before Congress to speak about the miracle on the Hudson, and they were grilling him on why he didn't take a left turn or right turn at the exact moment where the model said that they could have landed the plane somewhere else. He basically waited for a moment of pause and said, "Can we get serious now?" And I feel like that's where we are right now in Silicon Valley, because we've just seen some very interesting things happen in the world of what I would call pseudo tech. I think with crypto, getting its bluff called to a certain extent, we now have this opportunity where we can look back at 10 or 20 years of pent up demand for what I would call real deep technology development. This is now a time where technical founders who want to take on highly regulated industries, they might have been laughed at in the past because there was just so much money and attention flowing to anything but areas where it's difficult. I think now is the beginning of a new renaissance.
Yeah, education kind of comes from all sides, right? For a long time, we've taken into account that we have the scientists who are like very well educated, know very well what they're doing, and you should listen to them. And then you have the common people who knows a lot less and should listen to the experts. And now experts and novices are very blurry lines. People become very nerdy about a lot of things very quickly, and they go into this rabbit hole and feel like they have a very strong opinion about things. Fear is a great motivator, of good and bad things. Sometimes you fear that you might get sick, so you may prevent something in your life, like clean up your diet, exercise a little bit more, and typically you don't only use fear in order to do those things. You also want to make sure that you feel good along the way.
Sometimes, even before developing a technology, it's all I feel like it's very important to ask the right questions. And from there, often the development starts. And advancement in education, bringing more people educated to it, I think it's mitigating the gap. It's bridging the gap between non-educated people and educated people. And that's how the adaptiveness of the technology is being increased. And also, besides that, let's talk about how transformative education has been, especially after COVID, right? Before, getting access to those premium courses or those premium education offered by those Ivy League universities or those amazing universities around the world, it wasn't just possible, but now it's just so much accessible right now that if people want to get themselves learned about certain topic, it just takes them a click. I think, yeah, that's all my thought.